Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live, the Monday edition. Now, I am very excited. I'm very casual today as I get ready to paint. I love painting. I actually really love painting. It sounds a bit weird. I have in our house, so we've got an old home, and when we first moved in, it was originally peach. You know, that very fabulous 80s peach. Yes. It's awful. It was awful. So we went through and we painted a particular color, and now I'm like, right, it all just needs to be white. So that's what I'm doing today. But the way that I've been able to do this, and I thought what would be really interesting to share with you guys is, hi Jade, is hey Maggie, is around the way that I plan. So one of the things that's really important, I think, is, well, we know this, it's around the law of results getting. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up. It's about making sure that you're adding value and things like that, right? In the world of what it is that we're doing. So one of the things that I know really has a big impact on many people is sitting there going like, what the fuck am I going to talk about today? And things like that, right? I know I have felt like that, and I've got all of the things in place, right? But there are still times where I'm like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And the thing that I always come back to is this little number here. So this is my thing that I invented, and I've been teaching for a couple of years. It is called the Web of Awesome, and it is really freaking awesome. I absolutely love the shit out of this thing. Now, the reason why I love it is that on that web that you saw with all the different, like the different quadrants and the different colors and stuff, is it really helps me on the days where I'm like, oh, what am I going to say today? Or my cursor is flashing endlessly on the Word document. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to talk about today? I can just look over to my web and go, okay, what out of those things shall I talk about? Now, the cool thing with this is that for you, it's actually not really even hard to put together. It's more about pulling the ideas and the content out of your head, getting it onto paper, and doing it in a way that makes sense for you, but also solves the problems of our audience. Some of the biggest marketing campaign errors that I see going on out there is that it's all well and good for you to be inspired and motivated and excited and thrilled and absolutely in love with what it is that you're creating. In fact, I'd say that it's necessary in this day and age for you to feel like that with your own stuff. But the biggest thing that holds people back from getting really great results is having a framework. So how you build this, how you would actually do this, is you need to know who your audience is. Now, something that I want you to spend the time doing, and very strongly encourage you to spend some time doing, and it might take a whole entire day of you really knuckling down, is for you to spend some time sitting down, working out what are the problems or the challenges or the stresses that your audience have in all areas of their world. The biggest mistake that people make is they think only about the challenges that people have in your area of expertise. So say that you are a relationship coach, for example, or a psychologist specializing in relationships. Now, most people would sit there and go, all right, well, I'm a relationship coach, or I'm a relationship psychologist, a psychologist specializing in relationships. The biggest problems that people have in their relationships are bang. And then you sit down and look, you guys, I know that you know these people really, really well. I know that you're excellent, in fact, at unpacking that. But that's about an eighth or maybe a tenth of their life, of their world. They have problems in other areas and challenges and stresses in other areas of their world. For example, if you're not making the money that you want in your business, or if you're not generating the leads, if you don't have the prospects to talk to, I know that that's probably having an impact on your health. It's probably having an impact on your relationship. It's probably having an impact on your mindset. It's probably having an impact on your faith, on your connection to God, source, spirituality, whatever you want to talk about. It has multiple it has impacts in multiple areas. So the thing that most people do is they only concentrate when they're thinking about their ideal audience, the prospects that they really want to start bringing in, is that they're only thinking about the problem that they solve. So they're only looking at the problems with parenting. They're only looking at the problems with creativity. They're only looking at the problems in their career. And what this is doing is it's actually, in a way, stifling your message and reducing the impact that you can have on your audience and with your marketing. The funniest things that I see, you guys, are where, if I put something out that talks about something that I've been thinking about, that the response is huge, and yet I can still put out great business content that inspires and motivates and moves people, and the visible engagement can be not the same as when I talk about salt and vinegar chips, for example, or whatever the case might be. So you've got to have a plan of how you're going to connect to your audience. But the only way that you can build that plan on how you're going to connect is you've got to know who that audience is. Because here's the thing that happens. When you know that really, my arm went off camera. You've got that really holistic view of who your audience is, that really specific person. What you're able to then do is to be able to create connection and rapport with them online. So the way that we create rapport in person is that we would have a conversation. We'd go back and forth. I'd ask questions. You'd ask questions. We'd order more coffee naturally. And we'd be bouncing off each other. And this is the opportunity that you have right now in your online marketing to be able to do that. But until you know your audience, you can't go and start marketing, right? Think about it. Most people, if you're not making the money you want, if you're not reaching the people you want, if you're not selling the number of programs that you want, most people sit there going, all right, I've got to go and put out a Facebook ad. I've got to go and do this. I've got to go and do a marketing campaign. But you've got to come back first and foremost to your audience and to really uncovering your own inner confidence, the way that you're going to stand out, the way that you're going to communicate what you're doing in a way that connects with your niche and with your audience. So that's that. So here's the thing. Once you've got your audience down, the next thing that I would encourage you to think about is to go, all right, now that I know who these people are, what are the 4 stages that I take my people through? What are the 4 big things that they need to know? And it could be like mine is confidence, connection, making sure that you're able to capture those people with your essence, with who you are, and then going out there and, really blowing it out of the water and going really big, building influence from that point. So when you know what your 4 areas are, then you can start to unpack those in terms of your own intellectual property, in terms of the way that you articulate that online, and that's where the power is really created. So that is that. So have a plan, know who your audience is, and make all of that stuff happen. Now, if you want help with this, I am running, of course I am running, it's very exciting, a Visible Live, the last one for this year. And that is where we're going to map out your 2021 marketing plan. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be unique. It's going to have you standing out. It's going to have you unpacking all of your own intellectual property that you can use for establishing yourself as not really as a rock star of your industry, although that will happen, but certainly as someone who is really powerfully building their positioning out there. So if you want to jump onto that, I have got the link in the comments sitting there waiting for you. So to summarize, here's what you need to do. Have a plan before you start planning. Know who your audience is. Work out, once you've unpacked all of their problems, and I very strongly encourage you to get to 54. I want you to get to 54. And from there, if you can get more, then that's awesome, but at least 54 problems. And from there, what you're going to do is determine what the 4 stages are that you take your audience and your people through. And then you can start to create cohesive and consistent marketing that keeps you on message because you're talking into their problems, and that is always helpful. So there you go. If you have any questions about that or anything else that I can help you with, make sure you reach out and let me know. Otherwise, get out there, have a whole ton of fun helping all of the people that you're here to help. Make sure that you're getting out there and, obviously answering the problems that we've been talking about. The world is ready for your brand of awesome. See you later, guys. Bye.